Bryony Clark, 20, had never thought of herself as a rule breaker. She wasn't top of her class, but she wasn't trouble either. She kept her head down, did enough to pass, and avoided the spotlight. But lately, that had started to change. Her two new friends, Leah and Zara, were more daring. They didn't care much for school rules. They whispered rude jokes during assemblies, rolled their eyes at teachers, and spoke as if nothing and no one could control them. Bryony wanted to fit in. So when the school had a half-day on Friday due to staff training, and the halls emptied early, Leah had a bright idea. Let's leave our mark. They made their way to the back of the science block, where the walls had just been repainted. It was quiet. Too quiet. A perfect place to be stupid without thinking of the consequences. Leah passed her a small can of red spray paint. "Go on," she said with a smirk. "Let's see if you're actually fun." Bryony hesitated. She glanced at the wall, pristine and white, then at her friends watching her. She felt the pressure, and she gave in. She shook the can, stepped forward, and sprayed in uneven letters. "School is a prison." Her heart raced. It felt reckless. Wrong. But when she turned around, Leah and Zara were laughing. Then, a voice cut through the air like a blade. Bryony Clark. She froze. Standing at the end of the corridor, holding a folder and looking directly at her, was Mr. Ainsley, the deputy headmaster, known for his no-nonsense discipline and sharp memory. Bryony sat stiffly in Mr. Ainsley's office 10 minutes later. Her face was pale. Her fingers still smelled faintly of spray paint. There was no point. "You vandalized school property," Mr. Ainsley said calmly. "Property that was restored with money from the parent fund, by the way. Do you know how much that repainting cost?" She shook her head. £350, and now you've sprayed nonsense across it with your name. He sat back in his chair, folding his arms. "I expected better from you." "I'm sorry, sir," she said quietly. "I'm sure you are, but this school doesn't let apologies replace consequences." She looked up, heart pounding. "You will take responsibility in 3 ways," he continued. "First, you will write a full apology to the school and your form tutor. Second, you will begin paying back the cost of damage. Your parents will be contacted to arrange it. And third?" He stood and walked to the cupboard. He unlocked it and pulled out a polished cane thin with a curved handle. "1 stroke," he said. "You are not a habitual troublemaker, but vandalism, especially this bold, must be met with something you'll remember." Bryony's stomach twisted, but she nodded. She knew this was coming. Mr. Ainsley didn't shout, didn't insult, didn't drag things out. But when he gave punishment, it was firm, fair, and final. Step forward. Bend over the desk. Hands flat. She walked forward slowly. The desk was cool against her palms. Her skirt stayed in place, but she could feel the weight of what was about to happen. Mr. Ainsley lined up the cane. Crack. The sound echoed in the room. The sting lit up sharply across the middle of her backside, deep and sudden. She gasped, her eyes watering, but she didn't move. "Stand up." She rose. "That's the end of the physical punishment," Mr. Ainsley said. "Now comes the part where you make it right." The following week, Bryony helped the school janitor on 2 afternoons, scrubbing and painting over her own graffiti. She missed lunch with her friends. No one stood around to giggle this time. Her parents agreed to cover half the repainting cost. The rest would come out of Bryony's allowance for the next 2 months, and her written apology was sincere. She spent over an hour writing it, not just because she had to, but because she meant it. She avoided Leah and Zara after that. They called her a coward behind her back. Bryony didn't care anymore. Her pride was bruised, but her respect for the rules, for herself, and for the consequences of her actions had grown. 1 stroke. 1 mistake, and a lesson she would carry with her long after the wall was clean.